She goes, I met Nosa's mom at the airport on one of my trips to Port Harcourt and we clicked instantly. She got my number and said she had a son who needed a wife. The man in question started calling me after a month and we hooked up. The man was very wealthy. He appeared serious and loving to me. We fixed a date for the introduction, but on that introduction day, I was sad. That was when I knew something was off. 3 days after our introduction, one of his many babes got in touch with me. I received a WhatsApp message from his phone. She used his phone and she told me everything I needed to know. She did a video call showing me my supposed husband sleeping naked in her house. She sent me sex videos of him having threesome with different ladies. Hello, my name is Dele-Davids and this is Life Stories with Bussy. How you guys been doing? I just want to say thank you for always being there, for watching, for commenting. A lot of people are learning new things from your comments. People are, making a headway with their life from your comments. So keep the comments coming. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and don't forget to share the links to your friends. Let your friends also know that these things is happening. Every Friday we drop a new video. I guess that when people talk to someone that they don't really know, they feel better. Like instead of talking to your friends who will carry their stories to town, people are choosing to talk to us, and some recommend that they should talk to therapists, lawyers, pastors, but whichever way it is, people are talking and they're being freed and we're touching one life at a time, and for me that's a good deal. So thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm really always excited to read your comments and all that. Don't forget, City Buildings is still selling plot of land in City Gardens 2.0 in Ekpe. These are affordable investments, and in 2-3 years you'll be getting real great bargains for what you have invested. So check their numbers on the screen and then call them and make inquiries, and they can take you on a visitation to this site. Okay, so you thank me later. Okay, so today I have a story, and this story is like an offshoot of a story that we were told before. She saw one of the short clip videos on Instagram and she was like, wow, this story sounds like my story. She went to YouTube and then she decided to share a story with us. So the story that it's an offshoot of is the mothers who decided that they should matchmake their children, and the guy was not in on it, and the guy said he doesn't love his wife. That was the story that she responded to. She goes, hello, Bussy. I saw your story about the man who said he didn't love his wife and can never love her. It reminded me of a relationship I had that would have ended the same way. I met Nosa's mom at the airport on one of my trips to Port Harcourt to see my father. I assisted her with her luggages and we clicked instantly. She got my number and said she had a son who needed a wife. I was about 23 years old then. The man in question started calling me after a month and we hooked up. It was a long-distance relationship and the man was very wealthy. He cared for me and provided for me. As his babe, I was on salary. I had a good paying job and I was doing my master's at the point. He was ever ready to support me. He even paid my school fees at a point. The issues I had with him initially was that he wouldn't call. And sometimes when you call him, he will respond with messages and he will call later. It was something the whole family knew. Even his mother would call me sometimes to help her get across to him. His entire family were adorable. He was the last child and he got so much love from his sibling. On 1 or 2 occasions, they've even asked for my international passport so I could get visas to travel with the whole family for their vacation. But I knew my parents wouldn't agree because I wasn't legally married to him. He even bought me a car, but I knew my parents wouldn't allow me to drive it. So I told him I would have to learn to drive first. In the first year when we met, he said he was going to marry me, but he developed cold feet. Then he said we should keep dating, that he wasn't ready yet, and we dated for 3 years. As it was a long-distance relationship, I always traveled to visit him and spend some days. Occasionally, I would even work from there. On one occasion, I saw a bag packed with female clothing of all sizes. I asked him and he said he didn't know how he got there. Now, this guy was a smooth operator, and it would take the grace of God to catch him. He appeared serious, dedicated, and loving to me. So it's possible you would never have suspected a thing. On some occasions, I would see sanitary pads, wristwatches, ATM cards, strand of hair, and so on. And he would deny, saying his friend used his room. He lived in a very big house with different rooms. Why would your friend use your room when there were other rooms where they could have used? That was when I knew something was off, and I started praying to God about it. One day I went to visit. He sent his driver to come and pick me from the airport and take me to his house, but he never returned till 2 nights after. It was a Valentine's Day, so I called his sisters and I told them I hadn't seen their brother in 2 days. Then one of them advised me to hold on to him. She said that no relationship was easy. A woman has to endure and suffer and cover up her husband. If anybody tells you that story, it's a lie. In the 3 years we dated, he only touched me 3 times. I wasn't bothered because I wasn't married to him. He was never emotionally attached to me, but I was so obsessed with him. His entire family kept telling me all men cheat, that as long as your husband loves you, you have no problem. I forgave him and we moved on. We fixed a date for the introduction. He came to my village, but on that introduction day, I was sad. My father was sad too because he felt something was not right. We did the introduction, but no bride price was paid because my father didn't feel happy that day. We agreed that the bride price would be paid on the day of the wedding, which was 3 months from then. After the introduction, I went back to Lagos and I prayed to God to give me more signs and reasons to break up with him. I knew he was a womanizer already, but to his family, that wasn't enough to break the relationship. All the things that happened, I never really told my own family about it. 3 days after our introduction, one of his many babes got in touch with me. I received a WhatsApp message from his phone. She used his phone and she told me everything I needed to know. She did a video call showing me my supposed husband sleeping naked in her house. She sent me sex videos of him having threesome and foursome with different ladies. I almost fainted. She told me my wonderful soon-to-be husband used to be married and his first wife left him because he was a womanizer. She told me the lady's Facebook page and I went there and saw lots of old pictures of his previous wedding. I went to visit him for the last time. I checked everywhere and checked his phone and I saw more nudes and sex videos. He patronized prostitutes and strip clubs. He was never into me, but I was the little good girl his mother wanted him to marry. He was already in his early 40s for my calculations, but he lied that he was in his mid-30s. He had so many women in his life. That was when I remembered that on the 3 occasions we were intimate, I had to treat infection. The scales fell from my eyes. I went home and told my parents everything, and they said that they would support me in whatever I decided to do. I went to his family WhatsApp group and posted all their brother's sex videos and wedding pictures to his first wife and exited the group. I deleted their numbers, blocked all contacts, went off social media too. Their mother wasn't in that WhatsApp group, but she never called me. I never called her to explain to. The woman was quite manipulative, telling me to hold on tightly to his son and continue to pray for him. It was a trying period for me, but I prayed to God for peace. COVID lockdown happened shortly after and I lost my job. You won't believe I lost some friends too because I called it off. They thought I was mad. Who eats a jackpot and lets it go? They said that it's better to cry in a poche than keke. My parents were mocked in the village that after the introduction, no marriage occurred. Do you know what his mother started telling people? That her son caught me in bed with another man. That was the story they peddled. Some of his cousins reached out to me and they said that they knew all about his escapades and they knew about his first wife. His first wife couldn't cope, so she packed her things and left. But the stories they peddled about her was that she was a prostitute. A year after I met my husband and we are married now, I made the best decisions of my life. I love stories like this because what it means is that there's still some people who choose their peace of mind over, material things. When we're chatting, one of the things I said to her, I said that I appreciate your parents. And I think you should appreciate your parents because they were not taken away by the fact that the guy was wealthy and stuff like that. And it didn't work out. And they were ready to support her. Most of the stories I hear these days, parents are not even ready to support their children. They said, no, marriage, you will work it out. All the stories that they were telling this girl about how marriage is to be endured. You pray for demand. Every man cheats. All the stories. Don't listen to these stories. I like that this lady walked away. Because when I was talking to her, she said, imagine that she got married to the guy after knowing all these things. So instead of her praying for her future, she started to pray for one man. Come on. It's not worth it. It's better for you to walk away. Once you see red flags, walk away. All those friends who left her, you don't need those kind of friends in your life. Do not be carried away. Imagine this guy had everything placed down salary. The guy bought her a car. Whenever they are traveling, they ask for her international passport so that they could get visas for her. All those things are tempting. But she looked at it and she looked at the future. A lot of ladies don't look at the future. They look at now and then they settle for the now and then they have problems in the future. The red flags are always there. Only if we open our eyes and then we see and then we act on it. So I really, really give kudos to this lady because she told me she said it was hard. Because even in the heat of lockdown, she didn't have money, she lost her job, and that, at a point she thought, did I make a mistake leaving this guy? But then she remembered all those things and then she just said, no, I'm still going to hold on. And she said she has a fantastic job now and she's married to a wonderful guy. And I'm very, very happy for her. And I'm happy that she had a family who supported her and all that, So, young ladies out there, you've heard it all. Everything is not about material things. There are loads of people who have been swayed by the things that they saw and then they are in a mess today and they are trying to get out because those kind of men, they'll spoil you silly. Make sure that you don't even have a life, so you depend on them for everything. And then when they start to show themselves, you'll be so stuck that you won't know how to go out. So please, when the red flags are flying very high like this, please just run away before it leads to a dying on, Okay, so let's discuss this in the comment section. Until next time when I come your way again, my name remains Bussy Dele-Davids. Bye. Before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.